currently the land bank owns just short of 800 properties, of which about 30% or so are actually vacant lots. And based on our current projections, the land bank expects to take in, give or take, 50 properties per month. So as you might expect, these properties are extremely dynamic because they're coming in and out. In any given time, the land bank essentially is responsible for a pretty significant portion of the real estate in the county in some respects. So we believe our job is really important in making sure that these properties are protected in a way that either can lead to some kind of productive use in the future, or at least position the house to do something other than be an eyesore. We believe that's a good thing. Well, we do preservation for a number of reasons. The primary reason is we want to preserve the potential asset. When the land bank takes on a property, one of the first things we do outside of determine whether the property is vacant or whether it's occupied is to conduct an inspection or an assessment to determine whether it's something that should be demolished or something that can be saved. First and foremost, one of the things we do after we assess the property is we obviously want to make sure, particularly in the grass growing seasons, is make sure that the grass is properly manicured. We also conduct an interior and an exterior evaluation of the property so we can note the general condition of the property. We also change the lockbox codes if it has one, or change the locks to ensure that people that we don't want don't end up in the property. And then finally, we want to make sure that the property is adequately secured. In some cases that requires boarding up windows, doors, etc. And of course, making sure that the property is winterized. It's important because in many cases we want to save these properties. The idea here is that if we're able to save the property, get the property into the hands of someone who wants to use it in a productive manner, gets back, the property will then go back on the tax duplicate, everybody's happy. The community is then stabilized. Well, we work with a whole host of partners. In most cases, we work with for-profit companies. In some circumstances, we work with nonprofit companies like we have in this particular case.
We were contacted by Land Bank President Gus Frangos to see if there would be a way in which we could use Corp Community Service work crews to assist them. And we thought it'd be a perfect way to be able to help the Cuyahoga County Land Bank and at the same time provide work that would be a service to the community.
We just thought it was a perfect match because the folks that go through that program, they walk off their obligation to the court, but at the same time we make sure that the property that we own is protected and preserved for a potential future buyer.
It's really a win-win. It's a way for us to demonstrate to the greater Cleveland community how doing community service work is a positive, and it's really an efficient, low-cost way for the Cuyahoga County Land Bank to be able to provide the service at the same time. Our crew that works for the land bank leaves the Justice Center at about 8:45 in the morning. It's usually about a 4-person crew with a supervisor, and our typical day would be to clean the property, make sure it's mowed, trimmed, make sure that we check to see that all the doors are going to be secured and that the property is in good shape by the time we leave. We typically do about 4 to 5 homes a day. About 60% of the people doing this are really for misdemeanor offenses. The rest are for lower level felony offenses, and they're ordered to do a certain number of hours, and they're working under close supervision at all times. Well, this is a great way for people to pay back and find a positive way to pay back to society for the offense that they have done, and at the same time help out the citizens of Cleveland.